waiting for you. I'll say it for you. He's waiting on you. His grace is for you. Alright, so what's up, everybody? It's your boy Rick Ross, a hitmaker, and
I am Noonie Rogers.
And we are back finally with a new episode of the A Piece of God podcast. As always, Noonie, how are you doing today?
I am doing really good. I'm like really looking forward to this podcast. It's been a long time. How about you?
You know me, I'm just always in the moment, just chilling, enjoying the night, enjoying life in general. There's so many things to talk about. I don't honestly know where to start. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to just start wherever you want to start at this time.
Okay, so our last podcast was in Massanutten, right?
Yep, and we didn't even drop it.
We ain't even dropped that yet. So we got some stuff in the cut. We got a lot of content, a lot of footage in the cut. But man, it's been a lot that has happened since then. Massanutten was back to school time, wasn't it? Right before back to school time?
I guess it was, you could say, yeah, it was kind of right before back to school, maybe like a month or something like that.
Yeah, so we done had birthdays, we done had album drops, we done had launch parties. It's Halloween, so it's been a lot that has happened within the last few weeks. It's actually Halloween night. So yeah. I don't know. Okay. Well, I want to talk about what?
Let me just get myself ready for this conversation.
Okay. So I want to talk about Ricky Miyagi for Christ.
All right. What about it?
So I want you to tell everybody about it because I'm sure our viewers have heard the album. If you haven't heard the album, I suggest you listen to the album and then come back. But yeah, I want to talk about like, how was that process for you? Like dropping a Ricky Miyagi for Christ?
The process, it seemed long, although I recorded the songs quick. Mm-hmm. And I think part of it was me being like a hoarder of music and also getting, I guess it's like this type of fear I had before dropping it, like fearing it's not going to do good. And sometimes I tend to think that God didn't want it to come out at the time it came out. Because if you think about the beginning of the process, it happened real fast. I met K Diamond, then I met Danny. He became like a manager. He was supposed to invest, and then his situation went crooked. So it was a lot going on. So sometimes I feel like, you know, it's partially me, but it also was God was probably like, nah, it's just not time for it yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the process overall is the same for me. Mm-hmm. I experienced my life for a little bit, and then out the blue, I just get the urge to record music, and I do all the songs in like a week or two, and then I sit on them for a year and then drop them.
I remember like just seeing in the comments, like people like you would post like a reel of like the song that's on the album, and they be like, man, when you dropping it? When you dropping it? And it's like, I don't know. It just seems like it's always God's timing, you know, like you said, like you did your songs like super quick, but it took like almost a year for it to come out. But it's like, I think to us, like we're like, when we do stuff, like we expect for it to just drop right then and there because it's our timing. But it's like God's timing is always like the right timing.
One more thing too.
Yes.
Another thing that made it take a while is the order of the CD, because I'm big. Like I really genuinely care about music like a whole lot. So if it's a project, I always want it to be a listening experience from start to end. Right. So even though when I do the album, I don't write a story out. I wanted to feel like a story while they're listening to it from start to end. And I could never get the order right. But K Diamond ended up getting it right.
So let's talk about K Diamond. So who is K Diamond and how did you meet K Diamond?
K Diamond is what I would consider an established producer, because he has like a lot of sync credits. Like he get a lot of his beats be on like maybe like 2K or ESPN and different shows and stuff like that. Okay. And he's probably like a well-established producer in the Christian hip hop arena. I don't know for sure, but I be seeing him putting in work.
Right.
But I met him at he was just at an event that Marcus and them had, you know, and in my mind, I'm just hyped because I'm actually performing something I did, like one of my own songs, and not just featured on it. And I guess we just had met in the crowd, like, you know, at the stage, like a little dap up or whatever the case may be. And then he ended up hitting me up when we like when I got home. He hit me up on Instagram.
Okay.
And he told me we met at the thing, and then he sent beats, and I was like, yo, that's crazy, like, cause he makes beats that I wouldn't pass up on YouTube. So I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then I don't know, I guess in his walk with God, he was praying, you know, to meet an artist that could do what I was doing on the music, someone he can actually build with, you know what I'm saying? So it was just the perfect timing. Like, I don't know who he reached out to beforehand, but I said yes. And we kept working. We worked out something. He ain't charged me for none of the beats. And it just love since then. He definitely gonna do. It's not gonna be the first time he produced a whole project.
Right. I think just having him, just meeting him like at that time was also like God's timing, because for as long as I've known you, like you've never had just one that I know of, that you had like one producer on the album that covered their entire album. And then like I know as far as like the beats, like it was his beats. So it just seemed like everything was just like perfectly put together. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like no loopholes. Like everything was just, it was 100% yours, 100% his. Like it wasn't nobody else involved, like anybody. It was just 100%. So how does that feel like for you, like this being your first album, like certified all the way?
I won't say it's the first, but it's the first in a long time. It's actually the one that I produced younger, I don't count it. This first time really though was with Machiavelli Beats.
I remember that.
So it was a CD called The Average American. He produced every song on that album.
Was that the one with the flag?
Yeah, with my face and the flag on
Real quick about that, gotta tell y'all. So before I met Rick, I had a little friend at the time. I was in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, stationed there in the Army. And when that person came through the door, the first thing they talked about was Rick Rogers. And I had Rick's CD in my car for about 3 years before I met him. So yeah.
Yeah, so Machiavelli produced that whole thing, and then a lot happened in between the time Mac moved.
Yeah.
It was just YouTube. It's always been YouTube. If it wasn't Mac, it was always YouTube. Right. K Diamond came. We linked up. It was perfect. He didn't charge me. We worked out what we needed worked out with the splits, and that was it. And what I like the most about it is it's more than just an artist-producer relationship. Like we we sat on the phone for hours sometimes just talking. When we linked in person, we was just talking, you know, having personal conversations. He helped me out as a brother in Christ and everything. And then also look at it too as like, you know, the more music we put out together, the more money we help make each other, you know what I'm saying, together. So like we helping each other feed each other family. So it feels good.
And also spreading the word, you know, most importantly. And it's just, I don't know, I love that EP. It gets better and better. Like even before, like, you know, you gave your life to Christ, like it's always just gets better and better. And it makes me happy as a wife. It makes me happy as a friend. It makes me happy as a person, because when I look at like our lives, I always expect it to just continuously just elevate, you know? And it just seems like, dang, like it's just, the music is just getting better and better and better. Like I remember a time where you were transitioning over and you were trying to figure out like, how are you going to start making this music for God, you know? And it kind of was like a little battle at first with you, but since I already knew that whatever you did, it was going to be everything anyway. But just to see the transition, and it's like the bars, like the way you surf the beat, like it's just, it's lit.
You know what's crazy is, yesterday. No, the day I took Rick and his friends to Busch Gardens. I sat in the car and I listened to Ricky Miyagi 3. Cause I just wanted to hear Melanated Lenses first, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I'm like, dang, like, you know, minus the cursing and everything, like that version of me was really, really hard too.
Yeah.
But I think it feeds like the selfish version of me, like when I listen to it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of me. Like, so now it's like me centered around God. But I think it sound good because it's good, but it felt kind of good because it's just like feeding like that me,
little ego.
You know what I'm saying? So
you was talking your stuff. Absolutely.
So, but minus the cursing in though, I was like, yo, this joint, it still was some really good music. But I think like just involving God in the conversation in every song adds a different aspect to the music. Like the other music won't really help it much. It just sound good and it feel good in the moment. But this music actually helps.
That's I understand what you're saying. It's crazy that you say that because I I listen to like some of your old music like every once in the blue moon, and I kind of like that ego boosting. And I know that not to jump albums, but you just released another album, so we dropping them back to back. Like they dropping back to back. So this new album is, and there was like, I'm sorry, that's not the album I'm talking about. You was on another album. Right. So it's been 3 albums, y'all. You was on another album. Within and this months. One is Soul.
With Marcus.
This is Marcus Rogers' album. So on that album, it was a song, was it Run It? Running it
in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, and when I heard that song, I was like, "Oh, talk that stuff, Rick!" Like it kind of, you was going in, but it was so smoothly, it was so godly. But you had that little,
you know the story though, so it make it a
and
little
I knew
bit,
the story, so I'm like, "Oh yeah," like
make it a little bit different for you.
Well, yeah, dang. So
it was a perfect opportunity to slide it in though.
You slid it in real nice. I liked it. I was like, okay, I like that. I like that you could do that, you know, and still praise God at the same time.
I didn't do nothing wrong. Like, I'm just saying what it is. Like,
make sure y'all go listen to that song. Some of y'all a lot of y'all won't understand what's going on, but for those who know, y'all know. But yeah, so 3 albums within
2 months. I dropped in September, October.
1 month?
1 month.
1 month. 3 albums within 1 month.
Yeah.
Talk about going hard for fourth quarter. Like you went into fourth quarter like.
And I'm in fourth quarter. I'm dropping another one in December too.
Okay, it's another one. So
I think I'm gonna call it Jesus and them. Maybe or 1801, either one.
How does that feel? Because I remember like what I remember is every Christmas, you know, that's when you would drop that one album. But now you drop 3 in a matter of a month.
I mean, this literally was just a conversation that I kind of had with Marcus a little bit. Because he just been telling me for long, like, don't hold on to the music. And that was really my plan, like, when I started making Christian music, is I didn't want to look back 2 years from now and have 500 songs that I didn't put out. I'm still sitting on, like, 40, you know what I'm saying? Because I was just making them, trying to rebuild the catalog.
Right.
But it's also a matter of, you know what I'm saying, I want the music to help, you know, feed my family too, like kind of ease the weight a little bit, so I don't gotta like always be busting moves. It's like I can make music for the Lord. I can feed the people with the music as well as feed my family. So it's like, I don't know, but this stuff just I wasn't intending on it. Like my mind was already set on dropping my project, you know what I'm saying? But then Marcus was working on 2. He's working on the worship
projects
album
as well. Right.
And then with me and Karen, it just be over time. We did, I think, 1 song on his, then he did 2 on mine, then we did a 3rd one, and I think I reached out for a 4th, and he was just like, man, we might as well just do an EP. I'm like, oh, right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy though. 3 albums in a matter of a month, like that's fire. And like you said, like we say, God's timing. It's just crazy how everybody already knew, like, fourth quarter, we going strong, and you were able to drop an album 3 times in the matter of a month. So kudos to you.
Right.
I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
Definitely talented. Like I said, you my favorite artist. Even when we not getting along, I'm still bumping Rick, talking about Rick. So that's how it go. But it's amazing to see. So I don't even know. Anything you have?
Only I can say is go check him out. It's Ricky Miyagi, For Christ.
Yep.
It's Marcus Rogers, Soul. It's his album I just featured on quite a few tracks.
Yep.
And then I have a joint EP, which is kind of different because it's more so like 6 of my songs all featuring Carrying the Light, you know what I'm saying? But it's a joint EP at the end of the day with a little different twist on it. And that's called And Then There Was Light. I can't even decide which one is my favorite one. Ricky Miyagi, For Christ is just me following up a sound that I had for the Miyagi projects. The Soul album is pretty much like a hip hop version of me, which is what I love. And a lot of people always ask me to do my own take like that. You get what I'm saying? Right. But you know, I did it on Marcus joint, and then me and Karen joint. It's kind of crazy because pretty much each song is like a different feel, but it all meshed together.
It
like
does.
One of the feedbacks I've been getting is that, for one, we sound good together.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then for two, it's every song you can kind of sing along with it. You know what I mean? Some type of way. So I guess that's good feedback. I think that's good though.
Yeah, I definitely like all the albums. I listen to all of them. I don't think I have a favorite. I just like all the music. Honestly, I like it all.
So, what about you? You release your own hair care products.
Yes.
And you had a release party. So let's just talk about the hair care products first, and then let's talk about the release, and then let's talk about it being in the stores. There's quite a few things to talk about. So let's just start with what made you decide to start your own hair care product line.
So, well, maybe you want to start my own hair care product line. So throughout the years, probably like the last 3 years, I started getting different clients. And one of the things I started noticing was like the increase in like psoriasis, like real bad dandruff. And so I kind of seen like how it made my clients feel like kind of insecure a little bit. They wouldn't want to wear like certain styles because they didn't want, you know, the dandruff and stuff to be all over their clothes and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I always wanted to have like the Desire brand always kind of been like a one-stop shop for me in my head. So I was thinking always like hair care products, clothes, hair accessories, you know, just everything regarding like kind of like a woman. So I was like, let me go ahead and come up with some type of solution. So I started looking at different vendors for different hair care products like the shampoos, the conditioners and stuff like that. I want to say I tried it for probably about maybe 7 months, a year. And what it kind of boiled down to was I didn't find anything that I kind of liked 100%. And I think that that's because I didn't do it. You get what I'm saying? It kind of almost felt like I was cheating in a sense. Like I was just literally just paying for it to be done without really knowing what's really in it.
Is that what a lot of people do?
Yeah. So you have some people that, you know, they actually, you know, are in the lab like I am, you know, mixing their products, coming up with different formulas and stuff like that. But most people, I don't want to say kind of take the easier route, but it's kind of like the easier route. And they just go find a vendor that's good and they just go ahead and, you know, purchase it. Not saying it's a problem, but for me, like, I really want to be able to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like if my clients are asking me like, what is in here? Like I know exactly what's in there and how much of it is in there. So then I started just doing my research, going on YouTube University. I got me a herbal book and just started looking at different things. And I ended up coming with my own like shampoos, conditioners, and hair mask. And so I made sure that they were mainly dedicated off of two things, which was the hair growth and the anti-dry scalp.
All right, before you move forward, I'm sure women know what hair mask is, but for the men that's watching, what is hair mask?
So a hair mask is kind of like, I guess I'm like a face mask. So what you'll do is like it's like a creamy type substance. So for instance, my Restore Me hair mask is like a it's like I said, a creamy type substance, and it's dedicated for dry scalp. So when you put this in your hair, you kind of like grease it like you're greasing the scalp. You sit under the dryer, and what it does is it penetrates into the scalp, and it helps fight against different bacteria that might be in the scalp that's causing the dandruff, that's causing the psoriasis, and then you just wash it out. So it's kind of like a conditioner in a sense, but it's a little bit more stronger than that. And it just helps with whatever you're looking for. So they have some for hair growth and they have some for dry scalp.
All right, that's
if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know how to really explain a hair mask, but
so how did you come up with the names of them?
Pretty much what they're doing. So Clarify Me, which is my shampoo, that's a clarifying shampoo. So clarifying shampoo, that means that it's cleaning all the dirt, all the bacteria, is literally cleaning everything that's in your head. I like to use, most braiders, most hairstylists use the clarifying shampoo because they want to get the scalp clean before they start working in it. Rejuvenate Me is rejuvenating the hair, rejuvenating the scalp. Restore Me is restoring the blood cells. Is everything has like a name of what it's doing for the hair. So that's how I came up with it.
All right, so it's of course it's available now. You go ahead and plug the website in right now.
Yeah, so the website is Neziah, NEZIAHH.com.
Oh, you had to put 2 H's.
So I put 2 H's, y'all, because I actually purchased my other domain, myneziah.com, and I couldn't get into it in time, so I just went ahead and just made another one.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool too, because that way I don't want nobody to kind of steal my domain. So yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the launch party and how was that for you? Because I was there. I'll get my point of view of it after you.
So for the launch party, I wanted to have a launch the Neziah, hair care product, the hair care brand, but I kind of wanted to put like a little twist on it. I know a lot of entrepreneurs. I know a lot of people in the area, and it's always a good thing when I have them in the room. This year I wasn't able to have my 7 figures dinner. I don't think I had it this year. Did I have it this year?
Remember.
I don't think I had it this year. So with my 7 figures dinner is when I have like different entrepreneurs across the 757, and we go to like this real fancy dinner and we network. We introduce ourselves, talk about, what it is that we do, and we exchange information with the other fellow entrepreneurs there or inspiring entrepreneurs, and we pretty much support each other and network with one another. So I didn't have that this year. So I was like, okay, so what I can do is kind of combine the two in a sense. So what I did was I incorporated a game, which was bingo. So during the launch party, we did bingo, and I did something like, for instance, like when I talked about you, I was like, you're a producer. And so everybody has to find that producer. And then like, okay, it's Rick Rogers. And then I, go ahead and introduce everybody and give them their flowers. So it was kind of cool. It was definitely cool.
All right, what else? As far as the party, how did it feel seeing the people that showed up? Like, just overall, every aspect of the party, how did you feel?
It was your party? Love. It was love. It definitely turned out a lot more than what I expected to be, because it was kind of short notice. And like me, I like to be like over the top with a lot of my stuff, and I didn't get to do that. But it was definitely a lot more than what I thought it was going to be. So I was very pleased with it. Just to see everybody in the room, different people that came out and supported me, people that I haven't seen for over like 10 years, people that, we didn't kind of have the best history in the past, but through the grace of God, us finding God and us being entrepreneurs actually brought us closer to each other. They showed up for me. So it was definitely love. Like, it was a lot of love in the room.
All right. So as far as me, I know you to say I'm going to do something and you do it. So yeah, it's like, I know sometimes you be like, you don't be knowing how I feel, but it's like, I don't know what to expect other than you accomplishing what you said you was gonna do. So at the minimum, I be proud. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But one of the things that stuck out to me a lot at the thing was the amount of people you actually influence. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the joy you actually bring to people's lives, the amount of people you actually inspire, the amount of people you actually put together, you know what I'm saying? Network these situations from older to younger. And cause I always hear about y'all relationships, but to see it in person and stuff, like, and it was kind of cool how you did the bingo and everybody you called up, you gave a kind of like a detailed history of your relationship and where it was at. And then on top of that too, like I was having side conversations with people and they were, you know, vouching for the authenticness of your relationship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Noonie, she just been helping me. She this, she that.
Yeah.
She cut my hair. She grew it back. Like, just so many different types of testimonies in one setting. And it's like, in my mind, it's like, I was like, yeah, the devil must be messing with you a lot because, you know, I know you sometimes to be down about, but I'm like, dang, how do you be down when you're this influential to people? So that was just kind of like my perspective on everything. And just as people came out and was buying it, and you know what I'm saying,
they
like
definitely
you had the
showed out with the
packages and everything.
Yes, they did.
You had the personal candy bars. You had the water bottles.
Shout out to Chrissy.
You had the backdrops. That joint was fire. Like, and like I said, like I just live in the moment. I learned not to have expectations, so it's just like it is what it is. If it go good, that's great. If it don't go bad, it's still good in my book. You know what I'm saying? As long as we doing something. And then I guess the icing on the cake would be like you didn't just make your own packaging and all that. You didn't just get the website. You didn't just do the release. You actually got it put in stores. Yeah. In a store. Let's just start with a store. I don't want to add the S on it, even though it'll grow to that, but I want to be honest about what it is. So it's in a particular store. How did that come about and how does it feel?
So just the quick backstory on how that became about. I had this vision about 7 years ago. So I think this is when I first met you, or we first was talking. I was working at a beauty supply store, which was Beauty to Go. And at the time I was selling my custom color wigs, and they had a different management at the time. It was an Asian guy, and I remember at one point, like, I was helping all the clients and stuff like that. I was very inspired. I thought we kind of was on a level where, you know what I'm saying, maybe we can eventually do business together. But I ended up getting fired because from what he told me, I was competition. And so I remember leaving. Yeah, he told me I was competition because I had a hairline as well. And so I didn't understand it. Like, it definitely bothered me. It kind of let me down a little bit. And
did you ask to sell it in the store or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's probably why.
Yeah, but I didn't think I was competition, you know, but I'm looking at him like, you know, he got this big old beauty supply store. Like, I didn't think, you know, but, so I ended up getting fired and I stopped going to that store for a long time. And I remember one time I was driving past by and I had to go grab something. I was like, you know, I'm about to go in here. And so I went in there and I seen this Indian guy and his family. And it looked like they was like touring or something. And so I asked him, I said, hey, did you buy this beauty supply store? And he was like, yeah. And so I ended up being introduced to Amit and his wife. And the relationship between me and him, like, it was like almost an instant. Like, he respected me as a person, as a business owner, as a hairstylist, and he also valued my opinion. He used to ask me all the time to try different products. He would ask me, you know, is there anything that I see on social media that I felt like he needed to have in his store? And like, when I tell you everything I named, it was either on the way or he had it the next week.
So you didn't actually work for Amit. Y'all just built a relationship based on the fact that you used to work there. He now owned it. I always thought you had worked for him a little bit, and that's why y'all was so tight. I didn't know it was just...
No, I only met him that one time I came in the store after...
Sorry.
Years of not going in that store. So fast forward, you know, I always talk to him about my salon. He helped me look for salon stores when I didn't have one, when I was trying to get up out of the suites. And one of the things we talked about was the hair care products. And so I told him I was going to make it. And I told him, he said that he would support me and he would have it in the stores. And so I thought that was big. We always talked about it. And next thing I know, it came down to it. They were ready and they were in the stores. So, yeah.
So what it feel like walking in there, like, cause that's a store you go to a lot, like just about every day before you got a client and stuff.
Yeah, it feels cool. Like, because now I'm going to that line and like even if I don't have my product like on hand, I would still go there and buy my product. Like, you know what I mean? So it definitely feels good. A lot of times it kind of feels like I'm dreaming because this is something that I always wanted to happen. So sometimes it feels like pinch me, like it doesn't feel real, but I know it's real. But it's just, I mean, dang, it's like really inspiring for me. Like, it's like, okay, it's kind of like a note to self, like you could do it.
Word, I can understand that.
So it's always like that to me. Like, it's like a note to self, like check, like you could do it, like a check in the box, you know? Cause like I have like such big dreams when it comes to like my brand and things that I want to do. And it's like to check these things off the block is like, okay, like you could do it. Cause like how you said, when you were talking about like the album, like, you know how when you start a new project, when you start a new journey, I call it birthing a baby. It's like you get this, I don't know if I want to say like the devil kind of gets in your head a little bit and you kind of start having like self-doubts. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was plenty of times where we seen like the frustration sometimes where I just felt like I didn't know if I could do it. Like, you know, like, I don't know if I can make shampoo. Like, yeah. Like I remember when you was recording Trayvon and I like the first time I made it, like I messed it up. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember.
And I poured it out and then I did it again. When I made it, like I was like, oh my gosh, like I can make shampoo. Like the shampoo I buy in the store, like I can make this, you know? So there's been times where like I kind of doubted myself, but I think that's what all entrepreneurs, I think that's what everybody that takes a leap out on faith, you know?
So now that you can make your own shampoo, right? Mm-hmm. Do you ever look back like all the years you've been buying shampoo out the store, like, dang, I could have just been making my own this whole time?
I don't look at it like that. I never looked at it like that. Maybe because I felt like it wasn't my time. You know what I mean? But yeah, I never thought about that. It's like kind of like a in a now type of thing. Like I feel like it happened on time when it was supposed to happen. Only one thing that I ever wish that I could have kept doing was wigs. But
like the color wig and all that stuff?
Not even color wigs, so to say, but just wigs in general. Because I feel like I gave up too quick. And it could have been something. Because literally when I stopped, everybody started wearing color wigs. But, you know, just mastering how to lay wigs, period. But as far as like the products, no.
All right, and I had another question too. What was my question? Has anyone went to the store and bought it and shared with you that they bought it from the store?
Yes, a lot of people.
How was that for you? Like, what is that like?
I was like, oh. So I was excited. One of the ones that definitely did it to me was my fellow hairstylist. And it really meant a lot to me more than, not to say that, but it really meant a lot to me that they were buying it more than anybody else, because I know that they were doing what they needed to do for their clients here. And that's like my biggest concern. Like my biggest concern is the hair. So to know that they're using my products, that they're trusting me to use my products, and you know what I'm saying, they're putting in the client hair. I know that their client hair is healthy.
Yeah, I think it's fire too, because I would think that people would have egos and not like, you know, just I ain't finna go. Because I guess in my world where I come from, it's like ego driven, where it's like I'm not going to outwardly support this dude or,
right.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure it's still probably some of them.
I'm sure it's egos. I'm sure there's egos, you know, everywhere, but I just focus on the ones that do, you know? Mm-hmm. And like I said, my biggest goal is I know I cannot service everybody. I'm really not trying to be behind the chair as nowhere near as much as I used to be, especially when I first started out. But I just want to make sure that these stylists that's in the area, or even stylists around the world, are giving their clients exactly what they need. Like, it's not just about styling the hair; it's about really taking care of it. So it makes me happy.
Right. So that's another thing I want to ask too, because I heard this quite a few times. I've seen it online over the years too. What is this thing with people having to have their hair washed when they come? Like, as a person who used to have dreads, like, it made me feel good when I go to get my hair done and they wash it too. Like, the washing part actually is part of an experience that makes me feel good. So when did this thing come about where people stopped wanting to wash people's hair? Like, before, you know what I mean? When did the stylist stop wanting to wash people's hair?
Okay, so it's kind of always been around, so to say, because when you have two different type of people that braid hair, that do hair. You have your stylists and then you have your braiders. So growing up, the braiders was normally the Africans. When you went to the Africans, your hair was washed. Africans didn't wash hair. And that's simply because of the time that they spent on braiding their hair. You know what I'm saying? So in order to, the braid style might take 12 hours itself. Now just imagine if I had to wash it, you got thick hair and I got to blow dry it to it. So that 12 might turn into 14. So no Africans at all braided your hair. Washed your hair. They always just braided it. But then you had your stylists, like your boutiques, where your grandma used to have, you know what I'm saying? Grandma used to be a hairstylist. That was the black culture.
Yeah, because grandma definitely washed.
Grandma washed their hair. Everybody was washing their hair. So, but they were stylists. They actually styled it. They pressed it. They curled it. They trimmed it. They did all that stuff like that. They didn't braid though. So, what ended up happening is that now the younger generation, the black generation, as we are evolving, a lot of these girls are starting to do braids. So now they're going into I'm not just a hairstylist, I'm a braider. So it's not just the African type thing culture now. It's like now it's the black culture. So now more black girls are braiding. So it's the same thing. It's like, okay, I got to knock off time. I might start washing hair at first, but now I got to knock off time. I'm going to have you come and wash already so I can start braiding. Then COVID happened. So when COVID happened, that's when it kind of went all the way that way. Because, everybody was so worried about catching COVID and stuff like that. They wanted to limit the time on the person's hair. So it was like, come wash. And so I kind of felt like that's where everybody kind of got like a little comfortable at. And so when COVID was over, it didn't revert back.
See, but I get what you're saying, and what you're saying may be fact, but I'm gonna just say it from my perspective. Anytime I seen it online, and it could be from just the community that we come from and the people that I see that do hair, it was always this attitude like, I'm not about to wash your dirty hair. Like, that's usually what I get, like what I seen from it, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that don't make no sense, because I tell you, one time what got me was, it was a little bit after COVID, and I had a client who I did not know had severe psoriasis. So when I asked them did they wash their hair, they said they washed their hair 2 days ago. I said, did you put anything in it? They said no. And I put my hands in that person's hair, and the hair was so nasty. It was so dirty. And I said, I have to wash your hair. And I thought to myself, I said, there's no way I could do that again. From there, that's when I decided to add the wash services. But I also wanted to do something different, because I noticed that people were charging for the washes, which to me it didn't make sense. So what I did was I included everything into my price.
Right.
That way I can charge what I felt needed to be charged, but I'm also making sure I'm giving my clients an overall experience, and I'm actually taking care of their hair.
Yeah, it just seemed like a kind gesture to me in general. Like,
yeah,
I know if I was someone that did hair, I feel like as someone who does hair, hair got potential to get dirty. You just can't stay clean the whole time. But
right.
I don't know. That was just me, just something I observed. It was always Like I'm too good to wash your hair. Like,
Yeah, I have a lot of new clients that come in and they be like, yo, you're like the only person that washed my hair.
and it
And I'm
shouldn't be
just
that way. Like it really shouldn't.
I'm like, how? Like, yeah, that's not right. But I mean, hey, keep it coming because it definitely sets me aside from a lot of other stylists. So I'm blessed. I'm thankful about that.
All right, so
What else?
all right, yeah. So it's actually Halloween night right now,
Yeah.
and you know, it's been a lot of Christian influencers speaking out about Halloween, in which I truly understand.
Right.
But what's your take on it, and why did you decide not to celebrate Halloween this year?
Oh, so Halloween, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt a little torn. Simply because I always get into the spirit of wanting to do the special effects makeup during Halloween. It's because I start seeing it, you know, it's trending. I want to take a jab at it. And so this year was like the first year in 3 years that I did not do any Halloween. I think it was about 4 years now that I did not do any Halloween makeup. And I definitely had the urge to do so. I didn't want to, at first, I wasn't just going to do like the scary looks. But then I'm like, wait a second, like, you know, my walk is a little different. I'm understanding exactly what we are doing when we celebrate Halloween. So it's just something that I just didn't want to partake in. But I'm not going to lie, I felt a little salty about not doing my special effects makeup. But yeah.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna be real. Like, I understand. I do understand.
Right.
Especially when you profess to be a Christian, it's like, you know, like, out of all the things you could do, I don't think celebrating a night that glorifies it, like the gore and all of that, like, I don't think it's smart to celebrate it. But in the same sense, it's like people gonna do what they gonna do, you know what I'm saying? And to me, especially as a parent, like as a kid, I loved Halloween because, you know, we going to get candy, you know what I'm saying? That was the main thing.
Right.
The
It was
candy,
definitely about the candy.
you know what I'm saying? And as an adult now, anytime that I was celebrating Halloween, it was never about like the dressing up or the glorifying the, you know, the horror and stuff like that. It was still about the candy, but for my kids, it's like, you know what I'm saying? But I get it though. My mom and them, I don't think they ever paid much attention to what it was and what it is and what it may have come from and what it represents and all that stuff. So
Right.
even when I was introduced to the information, it's like Halloween was just Halloween to me. It wasn't like all this like what I know it is now. But I don't know, for me, it's like I feel like I don't watch scary movies no more because of that.
Yeah, me too.
So it's like I'm definitely not about to get out here and like be in no haunted houses or nothing. Because I mean, I don't know. You got to think, like, I think about what the thought was that made it what it is. It's like it wasn't a holy thought. You know what I'm saying? So I do get it, and but like I said, I do think people be going a little too hard on people who do decide to do it. Because in my opinion, they got to answer to God with what they do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just me. It's them, and that's what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? With their family, if they choose to. And I'm never in position to place no type of judgment on people, like, because I also fear being judged too. Like, if I'm not doing everything right, it's like, what am I gonna say? And then I gotta ask myself, how much does me still doing the sins I do weigh over them spending one night taking their kids out to get candy? Me personally.
Right. I definitely agree with it's a who am I to judge type of situation. As for me, growing up, it was definitely about the candy, But the one thing that I always was nervous trick or treating because it was always at nighttime and it was dark. And I never forget. It was one Halloween. I was walking. I used to walk all the way to the bus stop in New York, and I was walking, and this guy scared me. It was broad daylight.
He just popped out.
Yeah, he's and I was so scared. Like, so Halloween always been like a kind of mixed emotion for me. Like, I was nervous to go trick or treating at nighttime, but I really just wanted the candy. You know what I'm saying? But as I just been on this walk with God, it's just a lot of things that I used to love that I just no longer care for. Horror movies is another thing. Like, I used to watch horror movies. Right. I was born watching horror movies.
Yeah,
like,
I used to like them.
What? One of the scariest movies that I could not, I had to like literally watch, but one eye open was 28 Days Later. Like, if we have a zombie apocalypse, I pray to God that it ain't them type of zombies because I'm done for it. But I used to be afraid of it, but I used to watch it. Like, I used to be in the movie theaters with one eye open watching it. But I have not watched a scary movie in over a year. And I see, like, sometimes I see the previews on Netflix, but I cannot do it. Like, now that I know what I'm watching, it's like, heck no, I don't want no parts. I don't want no scary dreams. I don't want none of that. So the same thing with, Halloween for me. Like, now that I know what we worship in, I don't even want no parts. But I still battle with the special effects makeup. I'm not going to lie. I just think that maybe I shouldn't just only do it on the month of October. You get what I'm saying? If I'm going to do it and not do the glory stuff, because I was doing like the blood dripping down the face and, you slice with cars and stuff like that. So not that. Although I kind of like that. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's kind of cool to make you look totally different. You know what I mean? But, it's just something that I'm just, I guess, maturing out of. But who am I to judge, So if you went out there and you took your kids trick-or-treating, good for you.
Better pray over the candy.
Pray over your candy. Say your prayers at night. Like you said, no sin is greater than the next. So that's just where I leave it at.
And I also do think too, like, if I was raised in a family that exposed me to it early and what it was, then my train of thought now would be different. But as for me, it's like, even like with Christmas and all of that stuff, it's like, Christmas has always been Christmas to me, which is a time of the year where you're joyful, celebrating family, getting gifts and all of that stuff. As a kid, I'm just talking about me as a kid, it was just always a joyful time of the year. You get the toys you want. And so it's like, whenever people try to introduce all the pagan stuff and what it may be, it's like, I understand that, but I know it as this. So I'm saying, like, maybe if I knew it as that, then I might just be thinking different about it. But it's just, I don't know. I don't think my mom and them was like, yeah, we about to celebrate pagan holidays and it's against this and it's against that. Right, it was like, nah, it's like, this is what we grew up knowing. You know what I'm saying? And this is the time of the year. I'm gonna save up money. I'm gonna get my kids the things they want. And that's just what it always been. So it's like, I don't know, I'm just not that spiritual yet where I'm knocking out like every holiday and all of that. Like, I'm really, really still focused on being the man of God wants me to be to my family first. Because like I said, like, I started wanting to do what I see other people do. It's like, get out here on the internet and just minister and call out this and like call out that. But it's like, God is like, well, why are you trying to say the word when you still gotta say your family? So it's like, like I said, I'm just not that spiritual yet where I know the history on every single thing and this and that. And I'm just not there yet. I'm still trying to knock out the things I need to knock out. Learning how to be more obedient, I want to learn how to wake up every day and intentionally pray. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, intentional, like an hour, you know what I'm saying? Dedicate. I'm still working on me and my relationship with God before I start like talking about other people.
Right. One thing I could say, like, with me and the pagan holidays, like, I am really happy I didn't celebrate Halloween this year because I save a lot of money. Right. And that's what it is for me. Like, I'm starting to notice like these holidays that we have requires us to spend a lot of money. And it just doesn't make sense. So this is like the first year that I didn't spend any money on this holiday, and it kind of feels really good. Like,
Yeah, I'm happy.
I didn't have to go buy no
around.
costumes. I ain't had to walk around. I ain't had to do anything. I ain't buy no candy. I just turned the little light off on the porch.
So was we wrong for eating the candy that came back in the house tonight?
No. I wasn't wrong about that, but I didn't partake.
Those Skittles was busting.
Them Snickers was good too. You know what I'm saying? But it was a free 99 holiday that I didn't celebrate. Sometimes I feel the same way about Christmas too. I'm not gonna lie. Like Christmas, yeah, you gotta give gifts and stuff like that, but I just feel like it's a waste of time. Like when we give gifts all throughout the year, I wish it was something different where we all just got together and just laughed and ha when we took a trip or something like that. But as far as like the whole me showering, the kids with gifts and stuff like that, I'm not with that anymore. Like, I don't even remember what I bought them last year and the year before that and the year before that. So it's like, I'm like wasting money.
See, I get it though. I do get it from a grown-up's perspective, but like, I just think about the amount of joy I had every Christmas as a kid. Is like, I want my kids to have that too. You know what I'm saying? I get it though,
Yeah.
Saving up money. And then it's like, we ain't rich like that. So it ain't like we just all year buying the kids every single thing they want. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I feel like our kids make good effort to be good kids, like to the best of their ability. So for me, being it's the end of the year, depending on who you are, because you got all this stuff with the year starting in March and all this other stuff people get into. But for me, from January to December, end of the year, get them a few things they want. I just don't see nothing wrong with it.
I think one gift is good. Like, I remember my mom and my grandma and all them, they used to like shower us with gifts on top of gifts. Like, and that's a lot of money for what?
I know, but like, how many days do you wake up throughout
and it's crazy because people really will go broke.
How many days do you wake up though to a PlayStation 5?
I mean, one gift, that's fine. But people were really going broke trying to get as much gifts as possible for their kids.
I get it. I just think the important to me thing outside of the money is the smile on your kid's face. I think that's what everybody go broke for.
Yeah, I'd rather just do a trip, like go to a cabin or something, and we could smile up there. They open their one little gift that they asked for, and that's just that. But to like look at inflation right now, like food is crazy high right now. Food is over 70%. Like is high as heck. Like. It's just, I don't know. I'm just noticing like with these holidays, it's just kind of a waste of time.
I mean, I feel you. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, I'm just not there spiritually where I'm
about there. I'm
calling everybody
just ready for you to hop on the
that.
bandwagon.
I need to do, I guess, research on what everything come from and all of that stuff. And then the way my mind work, I just start thinking like, dang, what if toothbrushes was a pagan idea? Like, do we not brush our teeth with a toothbrush?
I don't know,
no
but I got a toothbrush for Christmas.
I'm just saying, like, that's how my mind worked though when it comes to them things. Because it's like, I mean, I could get the Halloween and the demonic stuff and all of that stuff, but it's like we live on the same earth and we kind of got to share space with each other, whether we
so you're looking at
align with the same things or not.
You're looking at it as like a biblical standpoint. I look at it more as like a government like type of control standpoint, because it just causes us to spend money. So that's how I look at it.
Spend money everywhere.
No, but it causes us to spend more money.
Food.
So let's just say we had to get the costumes for all 7 of our kids. How much money would we have spent on costumes? We probably would have spent about 7. So we got, that's 1, 2, 3. We probably spent about $400 on costumes just itself. And then we would have had to get candy. So that probably would have been like a good $40. So that's about a good almost $500 on just... You get what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense. It just, that's what I see. Like, I see that the masses put this stuff together, and now it's a way for us to spend our little hard-earned coins for no reason. But on a good note, this year I ain't spent no money, so I'm happy. That's good. That's really good. So yeah, but Christmas, I'm gonna celebrate Christmas. I'm probably gonna do one gift. I always say that every year, but I think this time I'm really gonna stand my ground and do one gift because it just doesn't. The math is not mathing anymore, and
I don't think the math is ever gonna math.
yeah, but
I'll
let you buy all the gifts. But
I'm just saying, like, I get what you're saying though, but I'm just saying it's like
I'd rather take a trip.
You still spending money though.
But you're creating a memory. If I could take my kids to Africa, if I could take them to Paris, if I could take them to Taiwan, if I could take them to Japan, if I could take them anywhere that they ain't never been before, even in the cabin, I would do that versus buying a gift that I know I can't even remember what I bought them last year. Like, I don't know what I bought any of them last year. I might have. I think one thing I remember is the LOL doll.
I don't think that's a good, like.
They don't even remember.
I don't think we're programmed to remember everything we got for the last 10 years or last 5 years or last 3 years for Christmas. Like, I just don't think our mind's gonna do that.
My
like,
mom,
you don't
my
even
grandma,
know what you bought from 7-Eleven last Tuesday.
They used to remember what they used to buy us. Because they used to say, "I bought you this for Christmas."
Maybe last Christmas, but 5 years ago, they're not gonna remember.
But I don't even remember what I bought the kids last year. So that just tells you, like, that's an issue. Okay,
but listen, last December 25th, a whole year in between, you done launched hair care products, you done did this, you done bought this, you bought that, you had this, I don't think we're programmed to remember everything we brought.
The older people,
I get what you're saying, but I just don't think we're programmed to remember everything we brought.
The older generation, they definitely remembered, because my grandma and my mom remind me every year what they bought me for Christmas, and they definitely bought me that for Christmas. Nowadays, it's not the same. I think memories is where it's at. I know Layla
maybe
and
social
Corey,
media got a lot to do with it, and how much how much we take in throughout the year. Like, it's definitely so much different stuff that our mind is doing versus like our
and it's
grandma.
Like, it seems like people are starting to compete, like, when it comes to like holidays, and it just makes them also like watered down too. It's like I wouldn't even say compete, but you know, as we advance, people's minds are advancing, and they're starting to do crazy things now on the holidays. Like, it's just, you know, it's getting wild. So I don't know, you know, hopefully that would be a thing of the past.
What? Christmas and all that?
Just like, maybe they could just switch it up. Like, you know, like, switch it up. Like,
so what would you want from me on Christmas? Nothing? Since you're not a gift type person? Like, would you be cool with waking up and I didn't get you nothing for Christmas?
I mean, I wouldn't probably, if I asked for one thing, then yeah. But not like, I gotta give her 6, 7, 10 gifts, man. Like, that's just wow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, like, that's just too much. Like,
all right, y'all. So y'all heard it now. When I show up,
I said one gift, but I ain't say what that gift was.
Now, I don't want to hear it.
All right, now that gift could have been a Maybach now. You know what I'm saying? I just said one gift.
Right.
I said one gift, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. Let's create memories. Like, those last forever. I be hearing the kids all the time. Remember when we did that? Remember when we did that? We did that at the old house. Like, they don't remember when we got them. You get them kids a cardboard box, and they gonna put up a whole restaurant in the box. Like, they don't care about that stuff.
I wonder what Jesus would really feel about Christmas if he was here right now.
He probably wouldn't care for Christmas.
Ask the Holy Spirit.
He probably wouldn't care for it because it doesn't make sense.
He probably be like, get the little kids a PlayStation, Richard.
No, he wouldn't. He probably would make the toy. I don't know. I don't know, but it's just
build a tree house.
Build a tree house or something, right? I don't know. Cut up some wood in the backyard. Something that doesn't require too much, you know.
Probably like, you know, there's homeless people outside. You should.
That's another thing. Let's talk about that. So, I don't know how we're gonna do that, but one of the things I've been like really, really wanting to do really bad was feed the homeless for one of the holidays. I did it before, and I definitely liked it, and I really want to do it again. Like, I feel like I haven't been fulfilled because I haven't done it.
I never really did it, honestly. I do give though whenever I see a homeless person like on the corner or something or at the store. If I see them, I'm definitely gonna give them a couple dollars.
Yeah, I want to feed them. So I don't know.
I've been thinking about that. I get it though as a nice gesture, but it's not a strong but that's like it's 365 days in the year. Like something kind of tells me that Jesus like feeding the homeless wasn't just like making them a sandwich 2 days out of 365. I think it literally mean like,
yeah, but I think that
cause if you think about it, the Bible do talk about like, we not live off bread alone. Like you got to feed a soul. I kind of think it got a lot to do with that too. Cause all right, let's say we get all the money and we feed 300 people for 1 day out of 365. Them they still hungry for all them other days. So now it's like, dang, food is expensive.
I mean, food is expensive, yeah, but you gotta think about it like more so it being like sentimental to them because they don't have any families. You know what I mean? So this is the one time during the holidays that they can celebrate the holiday.
But what about all the other days? I'm cool with all of that. I get
mean,
all that.
All the other days, yeah, but holidays, a lot of people get depressed.
Well, maybe that's why everybody in the church supposed to put in money at the church and let the church do it big. But even still, how big is we doing it? Right.
I think my camera about to go off.
I don't think it's gonna die while it's on the thing.
Okay, but like, it just brings like a place of comfort. I don't know if you know, but like the suicide rates is high during the holidays, during Christmas and Thanksgiving. So it's cold. You know what I mean? So I know from my experience when we fed the homeless, we got to see them just all come together. They were so thankful. They were so happy. They ate really good for that day. And it was really like it was a good sight to see. I even know for myself, I don't know if I ever told you, but when I was in AIT, which is my school, my training for my job in the Army, I didn't go home that holiday. And so I was very sad. I was very down. But the way it felt in the chow hall, it felt like love. You know what I'm saying? Because I was around other soldiers that wasn't able to go home. We ate good. We sat down. We had a good time, and I really had a good time. And it made me feel good. So I think that's what it's really about too.
I still think it's deeper.
I mean, I don't know how deep you want to go. I don't have a way with my words, but yeah.
We're just gonna rock out. We're just gonna with this one.
Oh, let me get closer there.
You good right there. So I think, like I said, I just think it's because we talking about some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and a bag of chips.
Who's eating that?
I'm just saying ham sandwich or whatever. Like what we feeding? What we making turkey wings and all that?
Yeah, we feed them on. I
get it though. It's a good gesture. I'm not against it at all. I just said I think it's more. I think he meant more when he said it because if somebody's on the verge of committing suicide, they need to hear the gospel. They need to be fed the gospel.
I mean, most people that is out there, that's what they do. So you never been to one, so. I mean,
what about we get together, we feed them for 1 day, right?
We pray.
Now, what about the other 364 days of the year?
There's a lot of people that have different resources for them out there as well, like connections with shelters. Some people will come out there with clothes. It's not just that. Like, it's other resources out there for them as well.
So it's just a gesture thing, you think, like a nice gesture to you in your mind. I'm just asking. Is it like just a nice gesture for you to do it for that day?
Yeah. How would you feel if you was alone on the holidays?
Well, I mean, why just the holidays though?
I don't know, but I don't know. How would you feel if you was alone on the
I don't
holidays?
know. I don't know.
Like,
I would definitely
could
be happy. I would definitely be appreciative. But I'm just thinking,
you can people, and they feed them all throughout the year. It's not just the holidays, but the holidays. That's when a lot of churches, a lot of shelters, they cook for the homeless.
No, I'm sure
that's when it's heavy, but it's definitely throughout the year. It's not like it's just 2 times throughout the year. It's heavy throughout the year, but it's heavier during the holidays. What else we do? It's been a lot. So
hey, Marcus had the grand opening.
We went the grand opening. Right. How was that for you?
I was just happy to see my brother happy.
Yeah. It was mind blowing, honestly. Like, to be able to see somebody have this vision and then it like really comes to light. Like that's a big church. That's a really big church. And just to see him like change it, because I remember it didn't look like that. I remember when y'all first got it and you were showing me and I was like, dang, it was the brown wood and it just looked completely different. But just to see that vision come to light, and the people that traveled, they were traveling from everywhere. Texas was in the building strong.
Yes, to see the effect that it got on people is fire to see. And I know, just for me, I guess because I go back so often, it's like I gradually see it. And then like from your perspective, it's like you go a few times and it's like it'd be big major differences every time.
Yeah,
but it still was I don't know, it was amazing to see it. And like I said, I'm always wowed by how much he do. Like, I don't know how he's still staying there sometimes.
I said military and discipline.
He be doing a lot.
Yeah, he do. And I was telling you earlier, like when I look at Marcus, it reminds me of, and what he does, it reminds me of being in the military. And it's like, in the military, it's so many people. Like in your unit, in your brigade, is probably like over 1,000 people. And at some point you might interact with, a lot of these people depending on what you do. But it's like a brotherhood. It's a sisterhood, but everybody has their own task to do. And that's what I see, like, as far as at the firehouse, like everybody has their own position. You know what I mean? Like you had the people that was the security. You had people that was his assistant. You had people that was the praise worshipers. Then you have the ones that was in the front, that was making sure that they greeted the people. Then you had your cleanup crew. So it was like everybody had their own position and they played their part. And it definitely reminded me of my battle buddies. But it's like serving a different purpose. I feel like when we serve, I don't know. I know for me, when I was a soldier and when I was serving the United States, I really didn't understand what I was serving. But for this right here, I know exactly who we're serving. And it's pretty obvious. So I definitely like that.
Yeah, I'm just proud. Like I said, just happy to see him. Because, you could get the word from God, but you still got to act upon it too. So right. For it to be what it is right now, that means he's consistently, like, constantly acting on it. So I'm just happy. Like, church finished. Got the new, I forgot what the room is called. Sanctuary. Mm-hmm. Got the new sanctuary with the new sound system. The new mixer board, got the kitchen all nice. I'll be burning that some sodas up nice. In that joint.
I know, right? Taking all the sodas. So if y'all sodas get going, then y'all know who it is.
It ain't even me, bro. Be like, there's some drink downstairs. Say no more. I'm gone.
So who is it during the grand opening that really like got your attention? That you really was like, dang, like I'm happy for that person.
I'll just be happy for everybody. Honestly, like I don't know. Whenever I go to church, there, I be always be in this mindset where it's like I put myself last, cause I feel like I got access to Marcus too, and God, of course,
yeah.
But I be looking at all the other people who who probably went through way worse than me, who, you know, they be like needing prayer and needing attention and stuff. So it's like I just always fall back and try to capture the moment with the camera. Because if I need to be prayed for or something, I could call Marcus live. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. These people probably don't have that direct connection. Even though everybody got that direct connection with God,
They're still different.
Some people still need like that, you know, that other person to even push them to doing it. So anytime I'm in church with Marcus, it's rare that I would raise my hand to get prayed for or something, because I just want other people to, you know what I'm saying, other people to get it. It's like I put myself last, and sometimes I feel like I'm in the situation to expose the situation and like what really goes on in that church. I don't know how everybody else run church, but
it's totally different.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, in most situations, like when you see, like if you think about Mike Todd's church or something like that, like you only, from what I see, so this is just like perspective, like you only see his story, you know, his wife's story. I want to expose everybody's story in the church. Like, what's your walk? What's your relationship with Marcus? What's your relationship with God? Like, what's your relationship with the people? How did you get here? What have you been through? Like the individuals that's actually in the church, like, and not like the head people at the church. At the same time, you know, record Marcus' life too. But I just want to. I want to show the people that people are still people. It's like we're not perfect people. We're not trying to be better than nobody. We're just like y'all. I want people to understand that, like, we just like y'all, so we can kind of like change the idea of what church is, because it kind of got like a bad name to it. Yeah,
it's a lot that we be seeing on social media with these different churches. But when I look back at the footage, it definitely reminds me of the culture VA. But except that we're not in VA and it's not the secular music anymore. Yeah. So when it comes to that, because I know we talked about it earlier as far as getting this footage out, because we have a lot of footage that we tend to hold on to. I know I have a lot of footage. I know Rick has tons of footage that he holds on to. And so we're just trying to figure out, like, not even figure it out, but it's just time to start putting that footage out. So what are you hoping for, like, to see as far as like the footage that you're putting out?
What I'm gonna tell you, like I be telling everybody else, since I have God in my life, I don't be hoping for nothing. Like I'm so focused on trying to get these main things down, like, you know, like the prayer life and because a lot of times I literally feel like I be putting them last, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I wake up, you know, we got to get Riley on the jump, and then I be wanting to play the game. I be having to do mixes and stuff like that. And I always find time to, you know, read a little bit. But even sometimes when I want to read, I just don't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really trying to get over them things. I'm really trying to learn how to fast for real, like intentionally fast. Like, so I'm just working on things like that. But as far as like hoping what the footage do or hoping what the mixtapes do, it's like I don't really want God to do anything that I would want him to do with the stuff. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, when it comes to the footage, I do think I need to put it out and not hold it. But Definitely. It goes back to like that fear of, what if it don't do this, and what if it don't do that? And when I think like that, I'm still involved in the thought process. So like, I don't want to be involved. I just want to put it out. And if God do something with it, he do something with it. Right. It's kind of hard because I be seeing people say, you know, I'm just put it out and let God do it. But at the same time, it's like, it's like, if you put something out, you wanted to reach people. You know what I'm saying? So if it's not reaching, but
if it reached that one,
I know, but it's just, I think the world that I live in, you know what I'm saying, in my own stratosphere, you know what I'm saying? It's like you want it to reach as many as it can. I guess I do forget about the one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely about that one. So that's just something that you would have to, I guess, just take a look at. Like, of course, you know, we wanted to, everything's about views, everything's about, you know, content and stuff like that. And we want to push out content, and we checking our views and, you know, trying to look and see if it gets this or get that. But in all reality, God just wants us to touch one. So the footage definitely needs to be put out. It's good. Like, I'm here to tell you it's good. Like, you seen how I was reacting when you put it on. Like, you know, it made me emotional just watching the grand opening.
Do you? Because, and this, I don't know. I don't even know if you watch our own stuff back. You know what I'm saying? And this just me saying this. It's like, okay, us watching it while you're cooking is different than you sitting at home and like, yo, I'm about to go to a piece of God and watch this. And, you know, watch these Rick and Marcus making music for an hour straight. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but people are really like inspired by us. Like, I think for me and you, like, this is our reality. So it's kind of really, sometimes it's kind of difficult to see what other people see. Mm-hmm. But as we both know, people see it and they love it. So we have to keep putting it out. And I think we got to stop going back and forth with, like, I guess it's like the devil trying to trick us into thinking that, like, you know, oh, what if it don't do good? Like, when in our reality, Jesus just wanted to touch one.
Yeah, I'd be worried about what it looked like.
It looked good.
What the color looked like.
Man, when I seen it, what
my teeth look like, oh, like everything. Like, I just be like,
good. And you look amazing. You look handsome. But I really truly feel like we need to start pushing it out. So hopefully tomorrow, you can push it out. But same thing, Culture VA style. I don't know the new name you're gonna make of it, or it's just gonna be a piece of God, which I think a piece of God is still good.
I'm probably just gonna fall under the same thing because I don't want to keep trying to build like different platforms. Piece of God. Actually, I think we reached like 105 subscribers.
That's lit.
Since we did the market interview, that shit was
lit.
fire.
Like, that's lit. But I think that we need to and definitely get that footage put out, because we got so much footage, it don't make no sense. Like, there's no reason why we shouldn't be producing content all the time. Like,
yeah, that's what kind of make me want, like, it's not like I want money to, you know, like, be on this baller type stuff, but it's like I do want the creative side of what we do to pay for more time to do the creative stuff that we want to do. It is, sometimes I do be sitting there like in my mind not doing nothing, or sometimes I might play the game.
I do too.
But you know, it be some nights where it's like if a session call, the want for money is so needed. It's not like we just want it because we trying to get extra. It's like we really be needing the bread sometimes. So it's like, you know, if I could just have X amount of money come in from the music, then maybe I wouldn't be so focused on having to travel and go make it, or leave home and, you know, go do this. I could sit in the house, and because it's like what we have, it's almost crazy that it's only being run by two people. You know what I'm saying? It's like a full film company, multimedia. You got to be the cameraman and the editor. You got to be the engineer and the songwriter, the graphic designer, the husband, the father. It's a lot, you know what I'm saying? And it always seemed like something got to lack a little bit. But at the same time, I always think about like the fire I had in me when I first started. But sometimes I feel like it burnt out, like doing it year after year after year after year, like nonstop record, nonstop videos, nonstop graphics, nonstop everything. It's like I'm older now, body wearing down a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think it's just time
it's just a lot. I wish we had a team.
I think we were working harder. We wasn't working smarter. I think we overlook a lot of things, especially when it comes to the footage, because that's a whole nother stream. And we're pretty much just sitting on it, not doing anything with it, when it's just, we can literally load it up, take that 10 minutes of that and just post it. And that's it. Put the cover, the beginning cover, the end cover. If you want to put the little beep in it, and that's it. Like, let it go. And we have enough that we can push out every single day. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, we literally do have enough that we could push out every single day for I don't know how many years. So I think we need to get to it. Like, make it as simple as possible, because at the end of the day, the stuff is good. Like, it's really good.
My bad, y'all.
No, you good, but it's really good. So tomorrow, God's will, we'll be putting out a piece of God video, because it's definitely time, and people need to see this.
Yeah, this is gonna take about a good.
It's too much.
3 hours. Oh no, I could probably pay for that autopod thing.
Exactly.
I gotta pay for it.
Exactly. That's fine. That's fine. We're gonna have to do what we need to do. But every day we need to push it out, and definitely obedience. Like we have lived our lives, our last few lives, just freely. I know that ever since I got out of the military, I haven't been on the schedule. I haven't had to answer to anybody. So I just been moving freely. But
hand me that cord.
One thing that I noticed that I am lacking is obedience. And
you can just give me this.
It's obedience, and I can say the same for you. Like both of us, like we just not as disciplined with our stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no schedule, and we're not on a schedule or anything like that. So, hopefully that's something that God brings into our lives, because although it's just two of us, we still can mass produce.
That joint still ain't going.
But yeah, I think it's time to chop it up though.
Yeah, this is about a wrap. So yeah, I would say it was a good conversation. Another episode of Piece of God podcast with your boy Rick Rogers and
Noonie Rogers.
Yeah, so we're gonna do our best to keep it going.
Yes.
I don't know whether we gotta start like writing down topics that has to talk about, because sometimes it feels
like the free going.
Yeah, but sometimes it feels like we gotta live a little bit to have something to talk about. It's like,
but we live every single day. There's always a lot to talk about.
It's like, that's different. Like us, if we stayed in the house all week and then still we did all week, that'd be different than like we went to Chicago, then we did this, and then the mixtape drop is like. But I get what you're saying though. I mean, we just talk every day anyway. So.
I mean, either way, we got a whole bunch of footage in between. We got a whole bunch of footage in between that can be dropped on a Piece of God.
So yeah, we're gonna do another episode tomorrow.
Yes.
And I guess the goal is to have this one put up
tomorrow
on the 1st.
Or even if it's not, well, we could actually drop 2 tomorrow, because we could drop this and we can drop one of the things from the grand opening. We have a lot of footage.
We're gonna figure all that out. You guys have a great day and tune in for the next episode.
See you.
Deuces.